So, the trailer for the new Superman film coming out next year has just been released. Let's talk about it. This is the James Gunn movie starring David Corenswet as Clark Kent slash Superman, obviously. And I must say, it's a very good teaser. It does its job. It's got an emotional, rising musical score, which is a new interpretation of the classic Superman movie theme music. Some memorable visuals. Now, there's no sense of story just yet, but it is a teaser. We see Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Superman even has a canine sidekick this time, Krypto. That's Krypto with a K, of course. His dog that did first appear in an Adventure Comics issue from 1955. So the film could be, it could be utter muck, of course, right? We don't know yet. But from what I've seen here, I can definitely summon some cause for optimism, for sure. Now, James Gunn, at his best, delivered the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, a huge trilogy that was among the most successful in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he's a very capable and talented director, so we'll see. There's every reason to believe that this could be a good film. I'm not going to nitpick this teaser for the sake of it, right? I'm not just going to be negative for the sake of it. I like what I've seen here for the most part. And I also like that they've tried to make Clark Kent look quite different from Superman with his messy hair, and he's also acting quite, bumbling, much like Christopher Reeve did when he was playing Clark Kent. So it distinguishes him, of course, from his alter ego, Superman, which further adds to his disguise. But I must say, I'm seriously relieved that the film is bright and colourful. It looks good, which makes for a nice visual change over so many, dull, grey, bland superhero movies lately. This to me is what a superhero film should look like. It should look like movies like this. There's a really nice, strong, saturated color palette. And I always talk about this. I always talk about the color palettes of movies. It's so very important. It's part of the visual language of the movie. And, I liked Man of Steel. And I did a review of that relatively recently. The first Henry Cavill Superman movie. But I didn't like how desaturated and grey and dull the movie looked. And that was the style that they went for in that film. I think it looked visually terrible, although the CGI was very good. But this looks really nice. It's crisp, it's clear, it's full of energy, it's full of life. And it's about time there was an optimistic superhero movie. Superman should feel like an optimistic film. He's an optimistic character. He's supposed to be inspiring, and that should factor into the film's visuals. So from this brief teaser, which again doesn't give us a whole lot of story or a whole lot of character or anything, I would say not bad at all. We'll obviously need a more detailed full trailer, which is obviously going to come next year. Before we can make a more detailed assessment of the film. This really doesn't give away too much in terms of plot or acting or anything. Now, having said that, I am sort of left asking the obvious question, which was, why was it so necessary to reboot this character once again? Some people are asking this. No disrespect to David Corenswet. He definitely looks like a believable Superman. And I wish him the very best in the role, and I hope that he excels in it. But Henry Cavill was already filling the red boots quite adequately, I think. And he definitely had a lot of fans as the role of Clark Kent Superman. And I'm still probably in the minority here, but I'm in the camp that the DCEU had unfinished business, in particular with Zack Snyder's universe, which needed, I think, further development and a couple more movies to round it out. I would have liked to have seen a second Justice League movie, if I'm honest. It's never going to happen, obviously. The films just weren't financially successful enough in the DCEU, and that's why they obviously pulled the plug. I can understand that maybe DC felt that the DCEU wasn't quite going in the direction they wanted it to. It wasn't as successful as the MCU at the time, and probably had too much baggage with it. Maybe a fresh start was exactly what was in order. Maybe that was preferable. Start again, fresh slate. But it's just a shame that it ended with a goofy multiverse farce of a movie with The Flash, which was also, among other things, I think a big disservice to Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne Batman. And I think Ben Affleck was probably one of the strongest aspects of the DCEU, in addition to Henry Cavill. But like I say, I just don't like how it ended for Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, because there's a timeline change and he's effectively erased from the timeline. And we discover this at the end of the movie, where he's replaced by George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. So I didn't like how this is basically played for laughs. But ultimately, it's not easy to make a compelling Superman movie. Of all the superheroes, it's difficult because Superman is just so strong to the point where, he's actually just too powerful. So it makes it very hard for him to be beaten. So, he either has to be weakened through kryptonite or come up against a villain as powerful as he is. Either way, I wish James Gunn the best with this one. I really want this to be a good movie, actually. It would be good for DC to get a big win, and for the superhero genre in general. If 2025 had a strong tentpole, crowd-pleasing blockbuster, right? I really hope that this is it. Now, so I look forward to your thoughts on the teaser and what you guys think. Generally speaking, it's well received for the most part. Now, I will conclude this video with a reminder that I am building my own universe, in particular in written form. I've written my first novel, Deus V Machina, a Cody Stockton mystery, which has been well received so far. It's a sci-fi detective story based in Las Vegas in 2045, and it explores a murder mystery, a global conspiracy involving a powerful AI, and the second coming of Christ. It's an uplifting, action-packed story with twists and interesting characters, and it's been available on Amazon in ebook and paperback formats from the links below for a number of days now. But it's also now available from the following platforms as well: Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, Apple, Smashwords, and the audiobook is on Apple, Spotify, Kobo, Everand, Google Play, and more. Now, if you buy the paperback, it's unlikely to reach you before Christmas at this point. At the time of making this video, it's the 19th of December. But of course, you can listen to the audiobook today and download the ebook from the links below. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.